Are we live? I think we're live. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Let's see. We got 19 thumbs up. We got 18 eyeballs in here. That's good. Patriot Preacher, Robert Booker, Barry, Koss River Ranch, West Siberian Lycus. Jay Spielman, how does an old fella like you get into YouTube? Yeah, that's a good question. I'll go ahead and answer it now, although I got some other things on the schedule. I started making regular videos back when I made them on a DVD, and they were mainly roping videos. I made roping videos, and then there was a guy that I followed. He was on the internet, and he used to train dogs, and he trained hound dogs, and he made these little, he called them report cards. You'd send a dog to him, and he would train it, and he would he would film this dog as he was training it, and he would make it into a DVD, and he would send it to the owner. But he would also send them to me. So I got to watching those, and I thought that was pretty cool, and one thing led to another. And then when YouTube came along, I thought, well, I could do that. Also, I was living off grid at the time, and that's how I discovered YouTube. Is I got on YouTube, and I started learning how to set up my solar systems and everything to live off grid. And I was watching these videos, and then I thought at that time, man, I can do that. I'll just make some videos and start putting them up. So they were the old ones I don't even think many of them are on there anymore. They were pretty coarse. They weren't much to look at, but you keep trying. It's really my only creative outlet. I've said it a bunch of times before. I can play guitar just enough to irritate everybody, but not enough for nobody to want to listen to me. So that's how I got started. Steve Vick, we're doing good today. Camp Blue Ridge Kennels. Howdy, howdy. Dickerson's Music Inc. Wayne, sure. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but a regular commenter on my videos. I appreciate it. Dale Wadsworth, glad you made the live stream. Gordon Biddle, hey, he's from Iowa. Everyday Adventures, howdy, howdy. Macrovonik, I'm butchering your name, I know. Howdy. Charles Greger, enjoy your videos. Do you capture dispatch the lions or just track them for the discipline? As far as the lion hunting goes, I love for my dogs to trail a lion. And we call it cold trailing. You hit an old lion track and you trail, and you get to see where that lion travels. You get to see where it goes, and it takes you into country that you normally would never just take off and ride through. Because, lions don't stick to the trails or the roads or anything like that. They do a lot of times, but they also cut off. So you get to follow and you get to watch the dogs trail. When we're fortunate enough, this country that I hunt right here, it's very, very difficult country to catch a lion in. I mean, it's dry, desert, and we don't have a lot of lions right here. But you'll get to see a little bit of action on my next video coming out. As far as dispatching them, there was one that I had to take out down here. It was an old female, and she was starving to death. She was so skinny, she was suffering. Most of them, the big toms, I don't have anything against, taking out a big tom. Sometimes it's not necessary, I in my videos, what I try to portray is the excitement of the trailing, finding a lion track, trailing, and going through the country. I mean, most of the time it's just me going through the country, and shooting a lion off a tree or off a rock or whatever. There's no sport in that. The sport is finding the track, trailing the lion, getting to where he's at. That's the sport. That's where all the skill and the dog work, that's where that all comes in. I hope everybody understands that. Most of the time, I like to go out and camp. I like to go out and just ride the mule, see the country, cut through, and I always got my hounds with me, and I'm always on the lookout for a lion track. So let's see. Michael Tracy. Hey, Brat. How are you doing today? Glad to see you. Glad to see you too. James Wright. Michael Tracy, Brett, not Brat, sorry. I understand, I do the same thing. David Donnelly, love your videos. I had a great uncle that did mule teams in Montana for the Forest Service. I remember seeing them about 60 years ago as a child. Love my mules. Matter of fact, that's where we need to go. Well, wait, there's 125 people in here. Let's wait. We might get a few more people in here. We need to build them a sanctuary. We, the people, took so much of their train, they need sanctuaries. Lions? There is no way a lion needs a sanctuary. They've got tons of sanctuaries. You must live back east. We got miles and miles of open country out here. Junior Merritt spoken like a hound man. There you go. I take a lot of pride in that. Jeff Fell, good evening from over the hill near Silver City. Good evening. A neighbor. Who'd I miss? James Wright. Hello, Brett. Michael Tracy. I'll try to keep up with the comments. Love your videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Jay. Jay Spielman. Where do I know you from somewhere, I think. Grasshopper ETA. More people. Yeah. Well, I wanted, I made that last video and it more or less went viral for me. Oh, tell us how you met Chris and Benny. I met Benny years ago. Benny contacted me about dogs and we got to talking hounds. He come down and hunted with me. That's when I lived off grid up there in the mountains. And he hunted with me for a while. Chris was, I was working over by Yuma. And at that time, I was making YouTube videos, and Chris contacted me, and I stopped and ate lunch with him. We got to be good friends, and he was kind of, he has a YouTube channel, and he was kind of, experimenting with what he wanted to do, and he was wondering if I would help him. So that's what I did. I went over and helped him. And we've become friends, and then what we did was we had that other channel, and I'd use the same program I got right here. And me and him and a kid from California, I forget his name right now. I'm not good with names. Anyway, we'd get on there and I'd kind of help him with what I'd learned about YouTube. And it wasn't live. It was just us in the group. And one night we were sitting there talking and everything. And I said, hey guys, all I got to do is push this button right here and we'll go live. And that's what we did. So one thing led to another. Now we go live on that other channel every Monday night. So that's how that kind of evolved. Cindy Winham, love watching your videos. Thank you. Watch from Eastern New Mexico. All right. Randy Riggs, they have sanctuary where I just came from. No kidding, Randy. They've got lots of sanctuaries. That whole wilderness up there, I mean, the Gila Wilderness, there's a lot of stuff that's not touched by hunters, very much, by houndsmen. John 3:16, I believe it. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. What kind of work were you doing in Yuma? I worked on, I did the cathodic protection on all their water reservoirs. We installed a corrosion control system. It's called cathodic protection that protects the reservoirs from corroding. They have a bunch of elevated reservoirs, and we climb those things and hang our systems in them, and then a bunch of ground storage tanks, and that's what I was doing there. I sold my business here a couple years ago, so you probably noticed the YouTube channel. Well, I forget when I sold it. But that's when I kind of started documenting more of my hunts and then my trips and what I do. Bryson Butler, Jesus Saves. Yep. Troy Criddle, good day from Australia. We imported blackmouth curs here in 2011. Enjoy watching your hounds work. Thank you. Dick's Clue. Ever eat cougar? I have. I've ate it a couple times. One time it was real good. The second time it wasn't as good. And I don't know if it was the way it was prepared or what. Let's see. Love the ancient sites you show, the petroglyphs. Yeah, I'd love to go to those. And matter of fact, I got a video coming out tomorrow. It's not petroglyphs, but I've mentioned it in one of my older videos about an old treasure story, myth, legend, whatever you want to call it. That I mentioned it before in one of my other videos, but I didn't go to the area where it's supposed to be, and so I hadn't been able to get out like I've been wanting to, so I just loaded up the mules, took a pack mule, and I rode right out of the yard and went to the area. But there's a surprise when I get there, especially for all you houndsmen. I'll show you a surprise in that video. Michael Tracy, my wife and I like your overalls. Oh, my Carhartts, they're comfortable and they're easy. You can slip them on, you can wear them for multiple days, and it's not a big deal. All right, now, my last video, not my last video, my video before last, when I rode out in the snowstorm and I camped up in that little boxed up canyon, I got a lot of comments about me mistreating my animals. Let me first say, my animals are everything to me. My mules, my hounds, they come first. I mean, I take care of them. I had someone else comment just on a video, say, why do I kill rattlesnakes? Well, I kill rattlesnakes because they bite my dogs. And we have more than enough rattlesnakes. They're everywhere. So don't be saying anything to me about killing rattlesnakes, because that's I've had them all my life. I've had to deal with them all my life since I was a kid. When I was a kid raised on the ranch up there up north, we killed 27 of those suckers in our yard one year. I mean, they're little rattlesnakes, they're prairie rattlers, but they're more aggressive than these big diamondbacks we got down here. Let's see. Let me answer some more of these questions. Well, stories of the ancients. Yes. My wife and I like your oral. Thank you. I read that. I like to watch Bonnie's ears, the way she, yeah, she got some big old ears on her. Who's that hiker? Just an auto accident and in bad shape. What? I don't understand. I seen Randy Riggs. Safe travels, Randy. I seen you commented up there somewhere. I hope you guys are at your destination. If you're driving, be safe. Buddy of mine. He gave me a bunch of elk meat last time you came through here. So, Flow Snake, I'm new here. Well, welcome. What do they say? Like and subscribe. All that stuff. I don't ever say that on my videos. Ira, I don't know how I'll butcher your name. Good evening from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Ira. Anyway, so my animal, I get sidetracked here. I got ADD really bad. So, my animals are the most important to me. And in the last video, I bet I had, there's no telling how many comments I had saying that I never fed my dogs, I never fed my mules, and I never watered my mules. First place, with those mules, a lot of times they won't drink for 2 days. Now, that's during the winter time. During the summer, they might, but a lot of times they won't drink for 2 days. And I said in the video that my camera battery went dead. I thought I was filming, and I like to film me putting the morels or the feed bags on my mules. And I had the camera set up, and the battery, when I went over there to move it, the battery was dead. Oh, okay, Pamela Wooten. Yeah, Desert Drifter. I hate that. Prayers for him. He had a bad accident. I wonder if he's doing any good. That guy makes super good videos. And I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, so I put together some little clips here. So things I didn't include in that video. See if I can do this. Now here's the one. Maybe. Battery went dead on my good camera. But I'm going to roll out my sleeping bag right here. Got everything set up. Should be good to go. Okay, there's me in the video up there in that canyon explaining that my battery went dead in my other camera. And that's when I'd filmed putting the feed bags, I call them morels, it's a Spanish name for a feed bag, on my mules. And believe me, it doesn't hurt those mules to stay tied up at night. Now, maybe 3 or 4 days, that's all right, that might not be good. But usually if you're in a good place, you can do what they call a hobble them. It's a leather strap that has buckles on it, and you tie their front feet together so they can't run off. They can hop away, but you can catch them. And if you have some grass, or if you're typically you need to be in a safe place, because you don't want them to hop off the side of a bluff or something. So that, and I'll do that in the future. You'll see a video soon. I got some places I'm going to go to where I can hobble them and put them out. But yeah, I mean, ideally you got in a good location, but it doesn't hurt them to stay tied up. And I did feed them. So let me show you another one of these little clips here. Oh, about the water. That's good. That's real good. And you can see I was happy that I had water for them, because I wasn't sure there was water in that tank when I left, and I wanted to be able to offer them water when I left and when I came back. They don't have any cattle up there right now because it's been so dry, and that's why I was happy that there was water there, so I could at least offer them water. Now, when I rode out in that snowstorm, I offered her water then, also her and Clyde. Neither one of them would drink. They wouldn't have anything to do with it. Man, I get sidetracked while looking at the comments. Okay, now I got one that I'll show you that's going to show you that I did feed the mules and I did feed the dogs. So here we go. Let's see if I can pull this one off. Hey, Rusty, do the dishes, buddy. Here, come here, Rusty. Do the dishes. Go on, don't touch my camera. Come on, Rusty. Good boy. Just felt I had to prove that to everybody. I felt bad because I had so many comments, people acting like I was mistreating my animals. I don't do that. They're when I'm out and about, they're the most important. Let's see. Get to some more of these comments here. Pamela Wooten. Love your adventures, especially camping out. Love your mules and dogs. That's what I want to do. I want to, of course, I've talked about the Butterfield Trail trip. I have to make sure that everything's in line before I do that, because I got to schedule like 8 to 10 days to make that trip. And so, I'm sure, as you guys probably know, life gets busy and it's hard to schedule that many days being away. Red Scorpion, and I glow, laughing out. Red Scorpion, I don't know much, but I know that ever since I stumbled on your channel, I'm binge watch constantly. Oh, thank you. You live a great life. Thank you. I'm trying. Kos River Ranch, West Siberian, I'd say you don't have to explain to anyone how you feed your animals. No, that's kind of what I answered a lot of those comments like that, saying, why would you think I would mistreat these animals? But I had so many of them, I felt like I better at least go live, and maybe some of them that commented on it will see it and know that I did. Absolutely, David Donnelly, you can lead a horse or a mule to water, but you can't make it drink. Mules are more stubborn. Oh, yeah, and I've watched, old Jet Johnson. I rode him for miles and miles and miles, and you might go 2 days and him not drink a water, and then, that next day he just tank up. I mean, just really, really, really drink. Let's see. I got another clip here. Let me see. Oh, about the water for the dogs. You can look at the dogs and they don't miss a meal. Well, I got to explain that too. Rusty, he's what we would call a hard keeper. He won't keep weight. Well, look at Fat Lori. I mean, she has a weight problem. But Rusty, and I looked at the video and I thought, for somebody who didn't know any different, looking at Rusty, he does look like he's underweight, and he is, but he's not he doesn't lack energy. I mean, he runs and trails the line really good, and he goes all over the place. He doesn't lack energy. But I got to tell you about a sponsor I got, and let me tell you about my sponsors. I mean, I get a lot of, now that I got a lot more subscribers and I'm getting more views on my videos, I have a lot of companies reach out to me about being a sponsor, sending me some free stuff, and then, giving me one of those codes where, you guys would get a discount. But I mean, most of it's garbage. I mean, maybe not garbage, but I don't think it's stuff that would interest me or you guys, or the guys who type of people that watch my videos. A VPN. I mean, why would I want to advertise a VPN? I barely can do this, and I just other things that are garbage. I mean, I can't even remember them all, but I won't do that. I'll only accept sponsorship or use that I like and that I use, and I just want to make that promise to you guys. I'm not But this dog food I fed it years ago, and then we lost the distributorship in this area, and I couldn't get any more of it. But a friend of mine out in Hatch has it's called Village Hardware. It's a store there in Hatch, and it just so happened that they were looking for another dog food to sell. So I got a hold of my friend that works for Value Pack Dog Food, and asked him if he could. I gave them each their phone numbers. The guy at Village Hardware, Zane, and Brian, their phone number, and they got together and they got that dog food. So they sent me free dog food. So sponsor, let me show you what it looks like. See if I can find it here. Be patient with me, guys. I'm an old man. There we go. Right there. Right there. So Value Pack Dog Food. And they don't have I'm feeding the purple sack. But since I've been feeding the purple sack, Rusty has gained weight. He looks 100% better. And I've been feeding him extra. Lori is still fat. She's still got a weight problem. So I think she has a real slow metabolism is what it is. That's the excuse I use. You're riding someplace that is my heart. Cool. Robin Whitman, to the Nainsayers watch, binge watch, and you will see the loving care Brad has for all his animals and the desert. Yes, absolutely. I got a grasshopper. I got to find a tree. We don't have many trees around here. Let's see. I got one more little clip that I made. I wanted to share with everybody. This is to show you that I actually that the dogs actually got some water. Oh, and I think I put the advertisement in here. Did I? I think that's the same one I already showed. See, I'm already confused. Where'd it go? That's not it. Doesn't taste very good. Doesn't taste bad. I just got it as emergency because that's pretty nasty water. I still don't trust it. See if I can get my fat butt out of here now. Anyway, so there you go. I needed to get all that off my chest. When I had running hounds, I fed Value Pack in the red sack. It's good feed, and dogs like. Yeah, my first when I was getting it here out of town, I fed the red sack. But then they suggested to me this time that I feed the purple sack, and I really like it. I like it. The dogs do good on it. They have a lot of energy. They're I mean, and if you clean pens, I keep all my hounds in kennels. I don't tie them up. I keep them all in kennels. And if you clean pens very regular, if you're feeding good dog food. Because if you're feeding sloppy, nasty dog food, you got really wet, nasty crap out there. If you're feeding good dog food, you get a real tight, dry turd. So there you go. Maybe too much information. But Yeah, and you don't have to feed near as much of it. It goes a lot further. And I just feed my dogs once a day. I feed them in the evening. I don't feed them in the morning. I'm always scared they might get a twisted gut if I take them out. So I just feed in the evening. And, and then you adjust. You look at them, you adjust like Al and Rusty. They require more feed. Fat Lori, she don't require very much feed. Those spayed females. Fat Lori's a spayed female. P's a spayed female. Who else is? Clara is a spayed female. So you don't feed them near as much because they get too fat. They gain weight way too easy. So what else did I have here? Oh, my coffee. I got a coffee brand, and I already had a complaint saying some guy said something about how expensive it was and how small a sack. But what we did is we went and we priced it accordingly and made it a little bit less expensive than like Black Rifle Coffee and all these other coffee brands. And a friend of mine that has Full Cry magazine is the one that's handling it for me. And because he has a store and everything, and so you can just, let me see if I can, okay, I got a question I got to answer. Do you feed your mules pellets or cubes, and why? I feed a mixture when I'm out like that. I feed a mixture of whole oats and grass pellets. And I like that when I'm out and about like that. It gives them enough energy. It's easy for them to digest. And yeah, that's what we've always fed. Back in the day when we were working them hard, we always, of course, mules or horses, I'm talking about, we fed whole oats. And I like to feed that. It's got a lot of fiber in it. And the grass, of course, the grass hay, there's a lot of fiber. And then here at the house, I feed alfalfa. I try to get third or fourth cut alfalfa. I don't like you get the first or second cut, it grows too slow and it gets real potent. And they don't need that. So you feed third or fourth cut and it's a little less expensive. Around here, the dairies always bought up all the good hay and they kind of set the price. So as it goes along, you get the third or fourth cut. It's not near as expensive. Let's see. That guy was rude this morning. Oh, the guy who commented on my video. Yeah, I just said, wow, thanks for the support. He said it was expensive, small sack, and that people were being highfalutin or something, trying to buy that kind of coffee. They could go to Walmart and buy coffee cheaper. Well, I mean, if that's what you like. Let me see if I got something for my coffee here. I think I do. Ah, there we go. They even put my little emblem on it. Now, I tried this coffee for probably for 2 months before we got it all put together. So, any recommendations on wormer for dogs? I like Happy Jack or Nemex. Then feed them some greasy cornbread. Yes, I shouldn't recommend this. There's an injectable called Dextomax. Never had any trouble with it. It's not made for dogs. It's made for swine, and it's an injectable. You give them, I think, depends on their weight. I'd have to look it up. I don't know how much to give. I have to look at it every time. I worm in the spring and in the fall, and it's called Dectomax. And it's an injectable wormer. I also carry swine antibiotic. It doesn't have to be refrigerated, so I can carry it with me. And then I also carry dexamethasone for snake bites. It doesn't have to be refrigerated either. So if you get a dog bit by a rattlesnake, you give them 3 cc's of dexamethasone in the muscle, 3 cc's under the skin, then 3 cc's under the skin for the next 3 days. That's easy to remember. And knock on wood, I haven't lost, but one dog I had, Sissy, she was a good hound too. She got bit, but she got bit in the leg. And she's the only one I've ever had bit in the leg. Typically, they get bit in the face. They get bit in the face. They swell up like a pig. They look terrible, but doesn't kill them. Now they'll lose some flesh. They'll they'll lose part, like they lose part of their lip or something like that. But they're okay. As long as you doctor them, most of the time they get all right. The old cat hunters I knew in South Texas always fed their hounds after the hunt. Yeah, that's what I do. I feed them in the evening, and I try not to, I don't feed in the morning because, like I said, I'm kind of scared if I'm getting a twisted gut. Let's see, what else did I have here? I even took notes so I didn't get too sidetracked. Oh, the coffee. If you guys got the coffee, let me know how you like it. And because we're working on getting a whole, I had a comment, someone wanted whole bean because they grind their own coffee. And then, what else was it? Oh, decaf. I had another guy contact me about some decaf. So I ordered some whole bean and I ordered some decaf. I'm not sure when it'll be coming in. And I probably need decaf because I like to have a cup of coffee in the evening, smoke my cigar. And I probably need decaf so I sleep better at night. Steve Vick made cowboy coffee with breast coffee last weekend. It was a great tasting coffee in the cold, wet coast range of Oregon. Oh, cool. Had a great smell as it was brewed on the tailgate. Perfect. I talked to, now when I'm out and about like that, I usually take that coffee, even though it's not instant coffee. I boil me some water, pour me a cup, and I put a spoonful in it, or maybe a little bit more. I like my coffee kind of strong, and I make it like instant coffee. But Fire Maple. Let me show you Fire Maple. They sent me that cook kit. I don't have the right cook kit. Anyway, this is like their thing for that competes with Jetboil. But anyway, they make a reusable filter that you put your coffee in, you put it on top of your cup, and you pour your boiling water through it. And I sent them a message, see if they would send me one. So we'll see how that works. And if it works good and it works with the coffee, then you can order one. You'll still and you can use that code. I think it's, oh no, how come I don't remember? B100 or 100 years or something like that. Let me see. Dadgummit. Oh well, it's one of those. You can look on one of my videos. Next time I go camping, I'll put the code on it. But yeah, and that way have a filter so you don't get as many grounds or anything in there, and it should work. Hey, there's Wayne Bisbee, my buddy. It's going good today. Garland Turner, my neighbor. Rattlesnakes in Chaparral Desert. Yeah, we got a few of them. How is your shadow friend on the left side of your screen? How come I got that there? I'm glad somebody brought that up. I don't have to have that there. I think it's because I have, watch this. Boom. Fixed it. He doesn't say much. He just sits there in the shadows and doesn't say a whole lot. Yeah, a French press. I looked at some of those, and I might try one of those soon so you can press it down through there. I've seen that. Jeremiah, I need to know your name. I hate to call you Bullfrog. Deciduous Discipline. Just join the live stream. Your adventures are awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. I got more planned. This last video, let me show you. I made a little clip of it. I've been working on it. My problem is I'm not the fastest editor in the world. And I got a guy who offered to edit for me, but I don't film good enough. I got to go through it because there's lots of stuff that is kind of silly. I don't really need to share. But let me see if I can get this other clip up here. Now this is the next video. It's going to be coming out tomorrow. Hopefully it's 5:30 now. If I can get it all edited, it'll be out tomorrow. Bonnie don't like it. I'm not going to get off here. There's nothing to see. I'm going to ride right down here around this corner. treasure hunting kind of ended right there because I found that lion track. And you'll have to watch the video to see. Let's see, what else do we got? A friend of mine, Las Cruces, was cleaning his backyard, was struck in the index finger with a 5-inch rattlesnake. Jeez. Those little ones are the worst because you can't hear them rattle. Thought you was having a surprise guest. No, Tracy Kimsey. No surprise guest. Oh, yeah, just me. Just me. Booger is in the dry ground hunting world. We have what you call dry ground or broke dogs. The dogs that you break them where they don't trail anything but a lion. Booger is the closest thing I have to that. Now, I'm not saying he's 100% broke because every now and then he'll decide to trail something else. But I don't catch enough lions to get them broke real good. So I keep them trailing and I watch them and I look for a track, and I can usually tell by the way they bark or the way they're working a track and what they're doing, what they're on. And I take a lot of pride in having a really good handle on my dogs. And so if I don't like what they're doing, I holler at them. I'll say, hey, guys, that's no good. That's no good. Let's go. And when I do that, especially Booger, if he's trying to, cold trail a coyote or something that, a javelina or something, which he usually doesn't do a javelina, but he'll pick up and look at me. Now, if it's a lion track and it's a decent track, he won't pick his head up. He won't look at me. He'll stay so focused on that lion track that and then with trailing lions, if you ever want to get to the lion, a dog will trail in this dry ground, especially a dog will trail a lion backwards as easy as he will forward. And if you watch the next video coming out, you'll see that. They trail them backwards just as easy as they do forward, maybe easier, I don't know. So you need to find that track. You need to find that track and make sure which way the lion's going. So at least you got a chance of seeing the lion, or you trailing far enough, you can get closer to him, Favorite Bogart flick, Treasure of the Sierra Madres. Yes, sir. Just started watching. Thanks for sharing your adventures. You're very welcome. Gardner, and he got to the hospital within 15 minutes, but still lost his finger. Oh, Cody King? Is that who you're talking about, Gardner? Oh, no, the guy who got bit by a rattlesnake. Friend of mine, Cody King, he caught a lion down in Texas, and he got some kind of infection, and I mean, I wouldn't even show the picture of his arm. I mean, it split open, it swelled up, and it split open all the way up to his bicep. Was in the hospital for 13 days. Terrible, terrible bacteria on some of the, they say underneath those claws on a lion, and maybe he got scratched. I don't know, but yeah, it's bad. It's bad. He's home now. I think he's going to make a full recovery. Where did you get your new hair? Oh, golly, I wish I had the guy's name here. He sent it to me. He made it for me, sent it to me because said he was sick and tired of looking at that blue brow band that I had on Bonnie on that other headstall. And then I also have some other headstalls that I ordered prior to this guy sending them to me from Walkin' H Saddlery. Let me see if I have anything on them. That guy, I mean, if you need any leather work done, contact me. I get his contact information, and the guy is a heck of a craftsman. There was an old man up there, James Morris, that was a saddle maker, and he was my neighbor when I lived up there close to the mountain, and he bought out all his stuff, and he was already a leather craftsman, and he's making stuff, and now he's full-time. He did have a job, now he's full-time. Let me see if I can find Walking. No, I don't have Walking H in here yet. But yeah, they're on the internet. He's on the internet. He's got a website, Walking H Saddlery. Really good guy. And he reminds me, I'm sure you guys, if you watch YouTube videos, I'm sure you've seen that what's his name? Dwayne, the kind of a philosopher guy, cowboy guy, smokes the big old cigars and tells, he's a pretty cool philosopher. Well, this guy reminds me of Dwayne. This Walking H Saddlery reminds me of Dwayne. For some reason, I think it's their voice or the way they look or something. He reminds me of him. But he's a real good craftsman. Who else do I have? Who else is one of my sponsors? Let me see here. Of course, my favorite of the bunch is OnX Maps. Use it every day. Use it every single day. What I do is on my big screen on my computer. Of course, it's on my my cell phone. But then you can get on your computer. It's the same thing. You get on your computer, and you can explore. I mean, you can look around and explore places, find trails, find saddles, find interesting things to go to. And usually I'll look on that, and then if I want a clearer view of it, I go over to Google Earth, and then you can really zoom in on Google Earth. It's a little clearer than OnX Maps. But then if you with the OnX Maps, if you decide to get it, let's see, you can use this 100 years, and I think they give you 20% off. And then they give me a little kickback to that for that too. So I love OnX Maps. I mean, I was using it a long time before they contacted me. And man, it's one of the handiest things. But you like to ride out or get out in the country and explore and look, you can sit right here on your computer, on your screen, and build you a route, find your, try to find springs, water, you can put waypoints there, and then it's on your phone when you go. So I know that's not 100 years too late, but it helps. What else? Do we have any more questions? Perfect. Do you have a code for Olight? Yeah. Olight. I forgot about Olight. They're good people. You know what? Like for Olight, this is how good they were to me. They sent me a flashlight, and then out of the blue, they just sent me another flashlight. And then I sent them an email, said, "Hey, I really need to get a good headlamp." They sent me 2 of them. So yeah, they're a good company. I don't know where they're at. I don't know if I don't know if what Trump is doing is going to have anything to do with Olight. I don't know. Olight, B100YTL. That's a code for them. Let's see if I can get it off of here now. Yeah, they're a good company. I don't know where they're located at. Probably China, I guess. But I like their lights too. The batteries last a long time, and they're really, really bright. Okay, Big Rig Rich. I had a couple small mules show up on my homestead a few months ago. I've been feeding them, trying to get them to get used to feeding them. Yeah, make buddies with them. I never thought about that. I've been around horses all my life. I was raised on a quarter horse ranch, and I broke colts. I competed. We showed in the AQHA, and then I team roped, and I team roped at a fairly high level. And but let me guarantee you something: mules are different. There's a lot of trust you got to get from them. You got to make buddies with them, I believe. And then once you're buddies with them, then you can start doing a lot more with them. But if they get scared of you, if they're scared of you for any reason, you got problems. Thank you from Phoenix. I enjoy your show and love hunting with what? Limitations. I enjoy hunting with limitations. Man, come make another comment and let me know what you mean by limitations. Bob Noon, I think your content is excellent. My dog Goober also approves. Good. Keith Howell, have you ever had a mule bitten by a snake? No, I haven't. We've had horses bit by snake. I remember out on the ranch, we had, like I was saying earlier, we had those little prairie rattlers. And they didn't get very big, but they were pretty aggressive. And you could get a horse bit on the nose because they'd be grazing or whatever, and get bit on the nose. And had a little board because they would swell up. And if they swell up too big, they could suffocate. And we had a little board that had little needles or smaller than nails sticking through it just all over the place. And you just take that and go pop it right on their nose, and it would relieve the pressure and the swelling would go down. I know it kind of sounds mean, but you had to do it. Yes, Mr. Anderson, I am still planning the Butterfield Trail trip. Just got to find the time. I got all my stuff ready, and there's still a couple things I got to find some. I hate to road ride. I'd rather cut across open country or through the hills or whatever. But there's going to be some places where I have to ride down some 2-track roads. I'd rather avoid that if all possible, but to get to the gates, to go through, gates through pastures and stuff, I'll have to do some road riding, and I have to locate water. I'll go out in my buggy, my UTV, and I'll do some more exploring and find the water sources, because you're going to have to average, probably 15 miles a day at a minimum. And after a couple days, those mules are going to be wanting to drink water. And I'm not going to do it when I'm freezing to death. I don't want to do it when it's real hot. I want to do it right in the spring, and try to schedule 8 days where we don't have 50-mile-an-hour winds, because the wind does blow hard down here. What model Henry do you bring with you out in the country? The Henry I have that I carry sometimes I carry my 30-30 Winchester, but I also carry that Henry, and it's a 410 Henry, and it holds 6 shots, I believe, and the first 2 are bird shot, and then the next ones are all slugs. Steve Hilly, good to see you, Brett. Good to see you too, Steve. Bigler Potts, I enjoy watching fellow houndsmen. If you ever come to Ohio, get with me. I'll take you on a rabbit race with my beagles. Hey, I watched a little clip the other night on that other channel of those beagles, Marty Beard. His little, it wasn't his, I think it might have been his, but man, those are cool little dogs. They are intense little dudes when they get on a rabbit track. Charles Harrison, I do champ hunts in Arizona. Champ hunts? What's a champ hunt? DDS Discipline, very cool. Thanks. You're welcome. I'll try to get to some more comments. So shoot, you got me for another probably 15 minutes here. Who else? Do I have another sponsor? Olight, that water filter. Oh, of course. I did. And if you want, you can go to my spread shop and you can buy a Fat Lori t-shirt or a hoodie or a cap. Let's see. Very cool. Thanks. Big Rich. The little mules are now coming within a few feet of me while I sit on my bucket and slice them up and give them some apples. That's a good idea. It's only been a few months, but I'm making progress with the dynamic duo. Look at right there, guys. There's Chris right there. Antidote of a houndsman. Champ is for somewhat disabled individuals. Oh, okay. Thanks, Chris. And don't forget, if you're a houndsman, go over to AWDA. They're having a drawing. I don't know if the drawing's filled yet or not, but they need support. They're in Arizona. They're after their right to go hunt with their hounds. Mecadade. And we go live. I should announce this here. We go live on Monday nights on another channel I have. It's called Interviews, Stories, and Tales. And it's mainly about the hounds and about hound hunting and stuff like that. And we do a live show every Monday night. No idea. PDX is what I use for my circuit judge and 45 long colt. There you go. Olight USA and Fairfax for perfect. I'm glad to hear that. Let's see. When out looking for petroglyphs, have you noticed any patterns, say paths or at least resistance or a line to springs? I found some out here in Arizona looking to track down some more. The one thing I think I found that I think those petroglyphs were put, those guys were like lookouts, because usually they're up behind a rock overlooking a wide open area where those guys could sit up there behind a rock and they could look out and see if anything was coming. Now that's purely an amateur theory right there. But I could just see, the chief telling them, say, hey, you guys go down there and stand behind those rocks and make sure nobody is coming up here to get us. And they get bored and they start doodling. Now that's That's, like I said, that's an amateur theory right there. Let's see, JS, been watching for a while with my girl. We're in Arizona. Can I get a shout out for my boy Eli? Hello, Eli. Glad you're here. I guess you're here. Jazz. Hi, Brent. My grandsons think you're coolest. Cowboy. Well, thank you very much. And the drawing is full, but guess what? We are doing another drawing to win an Alpha XL, a Garmin 300, 200 and collar, 3 TT25s, or $1,100 in cash, guys. Your choice. 40 spots at $50 a spot. That's over there on Antidote of a Houndsman. They'll be live. They do that on their channel, on his channel, and he goes live every Wednesday night also. And that's when they talk about stuff like that. What else, guys? I think that's all I had. Let me see. I took some notes here. No. About the coffee. Make sure you guys like it. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I got plans. I got a video coming out. If I get it done, it should be out tomorrow. Man, Chris just jumps on my live show and shamelessly plugs his place. It sure would be neat to know what all the symbols mean. Yeah, it would be. My imagination, some of them are probably wrong. And you know, you can get online and you can look up, and there's guys who say they know what they mean. You know, they'll pretend they know what they mean. I'm not convinced they do. I think they like to just make stuff up. How would you know? I guess I don't know how you would know. I don't even know. I guess they can tell you, estimate how old they are. What else we got, fellers and ladies? Deciduous discipline. 221 watching, only 111 likes. Smash that like button, everyone. I like what he says. How has the sudden heat the last few days affected your animals? You know, that is a good question, Garland. They have furred up, you know, because it was so cold like 2 weeks ago. I mean, it was cold. And they're all furred up, and now it's hot. And when this next video that I made, I went out and I noticed that they really sweat a lot because it got up to 80 degrees. That's why I took the pack mule, because I didn't know where water was up there, at least on the first day. And so I took a pack mule with water for the dogs, and I only took 2 dogs with me. No, 3 dogs, excuse me, the first day. But I packed water for them because I didn't know it was going to be hot. I knew that, and I didn't know where I could get water. But the next day I found water up there. Any tips for someone wanting to get a mule? Find a good one. You know, if you're new to mules, try to go to someone, a reputable person, and find one that's got a little bit of age on them. They're real useful until they're old. I mean, past 25. So if you could get one that's you know, there's an old saying that says a mule shouldn't be born until he's 10 years old. And I think I would, you know, especially if I didn't know much about mules or riding or haven't spent a lot of time in the saddle, I would probably see if I could find me one that's been there and done it, you know, and that way you get along and you can spend more time, you know, getting to where you want to go and enjoying the ride instead of, you know, messing around trying to train a mule. Rusty Champ, what is your usual cigars? I like these are this is it's upside down. Tabac Especial. I like these. They're a little bit they're getting where they're too sweet for me, but they got a little sweet taste to them, and yeah, they're nice. Hillbilly Bob, Relic Hunter, hopefully Arizona Gold Hunter, and I will see you someday out on the trail. That'd be good. I got plans to go over to Arizona. Matter of fact, I got to talk to Chris about that at some point. Steve Vick, I got to run. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for dropping in, Steve. Appreciate it. Chippy Hackey, your quarter horses. What lines of AQHA did you raise? We had, our old stallion was he was a King Leo bred horse. And then we had we had an own son of Mr. Sandpeppy also. And then my dad always he had a bunch of Doc Bar mares that Doc Shug, Doc's Juniper, Doc's this, Doc's that, and then we breed those stallions, those mares. We had, I don't know, Dad had 25, 30 head of brood mares, and I liked the colts out of the old fashioned King Leo bred horse. They were athletes. Now they could run 90 miles an hour and just sit on their hind end and stop, and they were a little high strung. They were a little bit, but I liked them, and for roping and for using horses, ranch horses, they were super good. The Sandpeppy horses, they were probably a little bit better. They made really good cutting horses, and that's what my dad did. My dad, he cut and went to all the cuttings and everything like that. Mr. Man, how do I say that last name? Miyazaki? Greetings from Oya Valley, California, and the Ventura County Mountain Ranches. Oh, I bet that's beautiful country. Ross Deschamps. My granddad used to chew white owls, never smoked them. Boy, he was tough. That's my grandfather. I never remember seeing him with a whole cigar in his mouth. He always had a little stub sticking out about that far, just out of the corner of his mouth. And he was tough too, let me tell you what. And about 3/4 outlaw, I think. Arizona Gold Hunter, you should come out to the Superstition Mountains. Lots to see, and definitely one of the most unique ranges you'll see. I've read a lot about them, seen some videos on them. Yeah, it'd be someplace I'd like to go. One of the reasons I like trying to sell coffee and get the sponsors and stuff is to help me. I'm kind of on a fixed income, and I did sell my business, but you never know how long you're going to live, how long you got. So I have to be somewhat careful and budget. So hopefully I can generate enough income to go to some different places. I'd like to travel a little bit and see some more different country, better country than where I'm at right now. Chippy Hackey, find a mule that likes people. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. My Clyde mule, he's not real friendly. He's not, but he's a good mule. And, Jet Johnson, I didn't realize how good of a mule he was until I started looking at other mules till he got too old to ride. But, man, he was a good mule. You've probably seen the video clip of Jet. I don't know where it's at, of Jet following. Let me see. We got some time here. See if it'll come up. Me and Jet put on lots and lots of miles, and it was when I was way up there in that rough country. And this might be it. I don't know. All right. The floods washed everything out. It's cold, frozen. Figure out a way to get through this. I take that mule, tie the reins up around that saddle horn, and I'll walk on through here. I just don't want him to get on top of me, so I let him pick his own way. Not too bad. Oh, Jet, he'd follow me around like a dog. He was a good mule. Now, I don't think Bonnie would follow me. I think Bonnie, I might have to get to a good place and do an experiment and see if she'd follow me, but she's pretty independent. She might just run off and leave me. Let's see. Cross River Ranch, West Siberian Lycus. We went and looked at a mule today, super nice and friendly, but both her eyes were a little cloudy. Oh, wow. I wonder what was up with that. More Fat Lori. Johnny Donuts. More Fat Lori. Isn't there wild mules or donkeys out there somewhere out there? Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's wild donkeys out in Arizona. Left over from the old miners, yeah. We went and looked at, let's see, that clue. Peace from Alabama. Peace, Jeffrey Lucas. Deciduous discipline, good mule. Yeah, he was a super good mule. He was the first mule I ever had. I never knew any different. Hello from Sacramento, California. Howdy, howdy. What brand of cigar do you smoke? I smoke different kinds. I try different kinds. I don't have the other ones in here, but I like these Tabacs. Especial or red eye. They got red eye. That's what I was going to say. Like a doggy. Yeah, he was good. And you could just, now Agnes, she wouldn't follow me, but I could drop the reins on the ground. I could walk off. I could leave for an hour and come back, and she might be, if there was some grass somewhere, she'd walk over and start eating the grass, but she wouldn't leave me. She'd stay right in the area where I left her. But I always attributed that to her being so lazy. She was a pretty lazy mule. Now, Jet wasn't lazy. Mountain Lion 101, USA. Howdy from Texas. Howdy, howdy. Pepe Pepito. Andale pues. Kind of late here. Not going read all the comments. How often you ride the Pale Bay mule? I don't have a bay mule. I have a dun mule, and I have Bonnie, which some people call her black or brown. And then, oh, you must be talking about Ruth. I don't ride Ruth. I tried to. Me and Ruth, we have a personality conflict. She's all right to pack. But now if she ever got loose from me, she'd be gone. I have a hard enough time catching her in the pen. And it's my fault. I scared her. I absolutely did scare her myself. Put 10 miles on the Beagles today and own a poundage hunt 3 heaviest rabbits. First one I ever entered in 30 years. Wow. How long do mules usually live? I think they live 30, 35 years. I think I've heard of them even living longer than that. I know their useful life is long, over 20. I think I rode Jet until he was like 25, 26. I don't know how old he was when I got him, but he had to have been about 14 years old. Hello from Kingman, Arizona. Yes, we have wild burros out here. Yes, that's where I've heard of them from. Charles Weller, have you shot off your mules? No. And I remember talking to my dad about that years ago when my dad started taking me deer hunting when I was just a little bitty guy. And I remember asking him, he said, why in the world would you want to shoot? Just their breathing can put it off, your shot off. So I've never even tried. I'm not a big shooter anyway. Joseph Kaiser, hello again, my friend. Just saw you online, so I'll stop and say hi. Howdy. But I'm on the go. So good to see you. Take care. Well, thanks for stopping by, Joseph. Bill Truitt. Hey, Brett, how you doing? Yeah, we've got wild mules here in San Bernardino. It's sad people think feeding them is a good thing. Yeah. Don't get me started. Jeffrey Lee, you got some good mules and dogs. Thank you. I hear they're stronger than a horse. Are they? Yeah, I believe they are. Pound for pound, they're stronger than a horse. They're tougher. They can, they don't, and I've told this story, me and my buddy, Juan, we've packed across the Gila Wilderness a few times together. And each time, the first night, he'll have 1 or 2 of his horses colic that first night. Of course, the first day is pretty hard, long ride. And I've never had a mule, knock on wood, I've never had a mule colic like that at night. They're just tough. I mean, they are tough. And then sure-footed, sometimes they'll irritate you if you're just riding down flat land because their mind's always working. They're always thinking about something. But when you get up on the side of one of those rough mountains and you're trying to pick your way through there and that mule's ears go forward and he's looking, you're pretty safe. I mean, he's not going to hurt himself. And as long as you're on his back, you're pretty safe. What else, guys? It's been over an hour now. What do you think? Should we call it quits? You have any more questions? If not, I got one of those old man things going on. I'll have to go outside for a second. Other old men will understand. I've been drinking coffee. Hello from way down here in the Bayou country in dear old Louisiana. I used to go to Manny, Louisiana, down there on Toledo Bend Reservoir every year. Tell us about being prepared and what Bennett's can be had been being prepared and what Bennett's. You'll have to re-ask that question. I hate to do this. I'll be right back. Give me a second, okay? I wish I had a video to play while you were. Let me see if I can find something. I can. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. Other old men will understand. When nature calls, you've got to go. Let's see. What did I miss? Any more questions? Do you have a video of your somersault that Benny always talks about? No. I bet they wish they did. Benny would play it every single night on our lives. I know that feeling. Yep. So do you have any dogs that you don't use for the hunt? Like a family dog sometimes. What I think Fat Lori is becoming. Yeah, she'll bark on the lion track. But I got a dog, Peso. He'll be in my next video. And he was in my camping video. He's what we call a lurcher. His mama was a cow dog, like a border collie, and his daddy was a staghound greyhound. They used to run coyotes with. I always wanted one. Yep, Chris, that was with old Johnny Clump. Gordon Biddle, I'm 74. All right. Nature talking about. Go pee. I meant tell us the benefits of being prepared for the trip. Make sure you have everything you need. You don't want to get halfway out there and have to call somebody and tell them to bring you something. I want to know my route real good. I want to know where the water is. I'll probably, since I take such good care of my animals, I'll probably go out and stash some feed along the way. So I make sure, so I don't have to pack so much weight, so I don't have to pack so much. And then try to find places where I stay at night, where there's water, and there's a place where I can hobble them, and there's at least some dry grass or grass that they can eat. Josh Ozark Adventure, I love watching your videos ever since I found your channel here on YouTube. Oh, thank you. I love seeing those mountain lions. I haven't showed a lot of them. I don't catch a lot of mountain lions. I trail quite a few, but I don't catch a lot. Marcus Hill from Belgium, Europe. David Donnelly, Dapadoo. Yep. Hillbilly Relic Hunter, know that you've been talking about it. I gotta go. Yeah. How is Peso? That's Peso. Peso is the lurcher. Seems like he's picking things up pretty good. Yeah, no, he's a good dog. He's real smart, real smart. My grandson works with him all the time. Lori, hi from the Gulf Coast. Hello, Lori. Hillbilly Barbarella, now that you've been talking about, I gotta go. Yeah. Monkey see, monkey do. Yeah, that's an old man thing. And I don't care if I am live, I don't wait. Anything else, guys? Keith Howell, have you ever thought about putting on small group rides? Might be able to make some money. I've thought about that. I don't know. That's another thing. Let's see. How can I get into this? For the last 2 weeks, I've been kind of lazy. I've only put out 2 videos in the last 4 weeks. And honestly, I've been to town, like I went to the post office and somebody recognized me. Then I went to the store with my wife and somebody recognized me. And it's getting where, people, I'm getting recognized in places. And I'm really kind of a private person. What do they call them? I'm an introvert, not a pervert, but an introvert. And it kind of got to me. I like sharing, if you have something you really like, you want to share it with people. You want to say, man, this is cool. This is what I do, and this is fun, and this is what I do. So that's kind of why I make the videos. But it's not for, having a lot of people bump into me and stuff like that. It's kind of embarrassing to me is what it is. Deciduous Discipline. Not sure if you mentioned this earlier, but are you still thinking of setting up a camp up in the high country? Yes, I am. Matter of fact, that's what I'm planning on doing next week. I don't know if I'll get it done. I can't make you any promises. Yeah, but next week, that's what I plan on doing. Packing in a canvas tent and setting it up there in some remote country so I have a place I can go to. I think that'd be really cool, and I'll put it in a remote place where it'd be safe. I think you can leave it 14 days in one place, and then you have to move it, I think, 20 miles or something like that. But I think I might be able to put it on some private property up in there, a little piece of private property that a friend of mine owns, and I won't have to move it. A long break was for number 2 or an old man's trickling. Hey man, I got a Pepe, I got a prostate, so if you're an old man, you know what I mean. Bill Truett, I cherish your videos. I really enjoy them when they come up. Thank you very much, Bill. Fellow ever ride a gated mule? Well, Bonnie started out being, I don't know much about gated mules. And when I first got Bonnie, man, she seemed like she was gated. She just really really move out. She's gotten a little bit lazier now that I've put a lot of miles on her. I don't think she was ever rode hard in her life. And of course, I've taken her into some rough stuff and had some long days on her. And I think she's learned that she needs to save her energy a little bit. JJ Zapp, the double-edged sword of being an entertainment. Yeah, and I'd like to see, I really appreciate them and everything. Everybody I've met has been so nice, but sometimes I just kind of get self-conscious, I guess, about it. Jonathan, good to see you doing these things live. I was out with Dave Heiss. Oh, cool. A few weeks ago, running dogs and having a good time. Us coyote dog guys have been rooting for you for a long time. Well, thank you, Jonathan. David Heiss is a good man. And a heck of a houndsman. And let me tell you what, I just showed the little clip of Jet Johnson. Well, there was another mule too that I called Jenny, and David Heiss is the guy who got him for me. He called me, said a friend of his was getting a divorce, and the wife got the mules, and she wanted to sell them, and he said these are 2 good mules, and man, I jumped in the truck and drove over there and bought them. And it was all because of David. Those were the first mules I ever had. Casey Boyer, I wouldn't harass you, but would like to meet on the trail. Oh, no, I don't mind meeting people. I really don't mind people. It's like, now, out and about like that probably wouldn't bother me at all. It's just going to town and, I don't know. I just, like I said, I get self-conscious about it, I guess. I got a thumbs down. Somebody gave me a thumbs down. Probably while I was out Mother Nature calling. I mean, you get, because of what I do, there's a lot of people that give me some bad comments. Oh, where's Mike? Mike, Chai. I can't ever say his handle. I've tried to get his address. He gives me super chats every single video. You call it a super chat or super something, whatever it is. And dadgummit, I said, send me your address so I can send you some stuff. Like I got my cups, my camper cups, and I got the tumblers and stuff. And I thought, man, I need to send him a bunch of stuff. And he never sent me his address. He won't send me his address. But that's the anecdote of houndsman. That's interesting. I live in southern New Mexico, but only saw large mountain lion tracks. What is the difference between them and a Florida jaguar? I didn't know there was one. They were down in Florida. Run into any weird things out there like Bigfoot or Dogman? No, not yet, but I keep looking. Chris gave a thumbs down. Probably. It was probably Chris. How many horses do you? I don't have any horses now. My dad and my niece, my niece is horse crazy, and she shows, and she's part of the ranch rodeo team and some stuff. And my dad's 90 years old. I don't think he's been, well, he rode not too long ago, but he still gets around, goes 90 miles an hour. My mom's 90 years old too, so I got some pretty good genetics behind me. Grasshopper, former podcast host, know the fan thing. Yeah. So what is your preference on mules over horses? Their toughness, just their toughness. I tying them to a tree all night and riding that rough country, their sure-footedness. That's about the main things. Is they're sure-footed, their toughness, their self-preservation instinct. You can make a good horse. You can make him jump off a cliff, but a mule you couldn't do that. Hey, when I joined as a member, it said I get a free cup. Haven't got it. Michael Tracy. I'll be dang. I need to get your address. Michael Tracy. Now I got 2 thumbs down. Laurie, we have some big tracked by wildlife conservation. Jeremiah, there he is. Training puppies in the dirt today. Good to see you, Brad. Good to see you, Jeremiah. Thanks for stopping in. Josh says, Ozark Adventures. Did you ever get your coffee going? Yes, I did. I put it up. You're late. You're late, man. Got to sell my coffee. Somewhere. Whoop. And I'll put a link. I'll put a link in the description down below where you can just click on that link and you go there. They have, you can buy just a bag, or you can sign. They have an option where you can sign up for a subscription where if you like it, try it first. And if you like it, then you can go back and they'll send you like a sack a month or a bag of that a month. Horses are a little too high strung for what you do. Totally understand. Yeah, they're, and I've rode a lot. I've rode good horses, mountain horses too. My Huggy horse, and I put a picture of him in my next video coming out. I rode him all over up there, and he was a good mountain horse, and he was double tough. But I still like my mules. Everything is beautiful. Greetings from Arizona. Bigfoot are in the native areas. Got to follow the running creeks. Got to get out and look. If there was any Bigfoots down here, I'm pretty sure my dogs would have already trashed on them. That's what trash is, when your dog runs game that you're not after. Like I really only care about trailing lions, but if they trail a javelina or a coyote or a Bigfoot, that would be considered trash. Jeffrey Lucas, all them creeks you go by, why you don't pan for gold? I don't know anything about panning for gold. I wouldn't know. And I don't think this is a real good gold bearing area. Now up higher in the mountains, it was. No thumbs down here. Thanks, Laurie. Pepe Pepito. Cool channel. And I was mistaken. That is a real cigar. Thank God. No, a vapor. This is a good cigar. Just answering questions. I don't keep it lit. Good cigars go out real easy. Right. My coffee was here when I got home. Let me know how you like it, Randy. If it's good, if it's, because they have different different kinds, and they sent me like 4 sacks, 4 bags, and I tried them all, and I decided that I liked this kind that we got, but we can get other kind too. I'm just curious, is there a difference when they say talk about the Missouri mules? No, but Missouri's known for their mules, and I think draft mules mainly. I think that they have a lot of draft mules, and a draft mule is something that pulls a plow or a buggy or a wagon or whatever. Josh's Ozark Adventure sounds good. I'm going to get me some. I've been busy making videos myself, so I'll have to get caught up on your videos again. Josh, I'm going to have to go over and check out your channel. Everybody check out Josh's channel. Grasshopper, yeah, Bigfoot needed regular water. I interviewed a native Hopi who went into detail with a bunch of pics and video. That'd be cool. Why don't you strap on a handgun when you're out there? I need to have a handgun. My problem with a handgun is I'm not a very good shot with one. And it don't take me long to yank that rifle out of that scabbard. We're going to another video I'm going to make. I don't know if you guys ever listened to the video or seen the video with the song that my wife wrote me a poem, and I sent it to Hayden Powell, Ouachita Mule School on YouTube. And he's a musician, really good musician. And he put that poem to music. It's called Born 100 Years Too Late. And we're going to try soon. And I'm going to try to get my wife to help me. And I'm going to get my grandson to help me. And we're going to make a music video out of it. Just try to kind of a creative thing, see how it turns out. It's a really cool song. My wife wrote it about me. I don't know if you guys listened to it or not, if you had a chance. I don't know if I posted it on the channel or not. I can't keep this thing lit. What else? And yeah, I use it to hit that mule between the ears. Bang. Skunk ape down here. I've heard of that too. Experienced a Bigfoot, pretty sure. In Maine woods. Maine, is it M-A, Maine? Yeah. Hey, this is my office. This office was built. The reason I got to come out here was because of Elon Musk and his Starlink. I didn't have good internet service out here. And when that Starlink came out and everybody was talking about how you could, do everything online with it, I had built this. This is a shipping container. And I got all my shelves and all my camping gear and everything back in the back part of it. And we built an office in here with an air conditioner and a heater and everything right in here. So yeah, I'm allowed to smoke. This is mine. Now I can't smoke in the house. I'm not allowed to smoke in the house. Texas Girl, Brad, I believe you mentioned Desert Drifter. Yeah, on your channel before. His wife reported on his channel that he was in a... Yeah, we were talking about that a little earlier, Texas Girl. And yeah, prayers for him, that's for sure. He makes some super neat videos. Does really, really good. It's my man cave. Yes, sir. Chris, it is. Jeremiah's Wolverine. It's a very good song. Thank you. Yeah, it fits, I'll tell you what. Chris, yeah, but that rifle is on the mule and you walk away from the mule all the time. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Best wishes, and when you do get a handgun, practice a bunch. Good luck out there. That's one thing. I've never been a big shooter. It's just not something I've ever. I'm just not. Maryland, okay. Maine or Maryland, I don't know. You get back east, I don't know nothing about back that direction. What else, guys? Yeah, we've almost been on here for an hour and a half. Competing with our Monday Night Live, and then with Joe Rogan, he's on for like, what, 3 hours or something like that? Any more questions, guys? I think that's about it. Too many M states, that's true. Too many to keep up with. Guys, thank you very much. Go to the channel. I'll try to get this video out tomorrow. And then I've got some camping videos that I'm going to go do and places I want to go see. And like always, I always have my hounds with me. And if I'm fortunate enough to hit a track, then I let them trail it as far as they can. So, Casey Boyer, I got to go dinner. Nice seeing you. Bill Truitt, Brett, looking forward to your next adventure. Thank you, Casey Boyer. Thanks for being genuine. Most want to sell us something. No, I just, only what I got. Only what I drink coffee. I like my coffee, so it's something I can, I mean, I want to sell it. I want to make a little money at it so I can go places. But I won't ever sell anything I don't use. I can promise you that. Seattle here, easy. Just say, hey. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you, Lori, for dropping in. Garland, thank you. I get your text messages, Garland. I'm just not much at texting back. My buddy, former sheriff, teaches shooting. I know. I need to get that name, Garland, because I need to send my grandson to a concealed carry class. He's 21 years old. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Stephanie White. Thanks, Brett. Tuned in from Australia, down under. Keep going. Thank you for dropping in. Good night. Enjoyed it. Grasshopper. You'll hit the dot in a week. Okay, I need to. I got a 1911. I carry that in my truck, and it's handy. Let me tell you what. Have you fired the rifle while riding by? No. I haven't. You know, a lot of times that shot's so fast and loud, it just startles them a little bit. Good job. Thanks, Chris. I need to call you here in a bit. Randy Riggs, thanks, Brett. Thank you, Randy. Thanks for stopping by. Randy stopped by on his way to Arizona to ride, and man, he gave me a bunch of elk meat. We had that Italian sausage already for spaghetti. Randy, it was really, really good. Come up to the north of Carson. See you down the trail a bit. You bet. Jeremiah, thanks for dropping in. Harmony Florentina, hello, everyone. Garland Turner, cool. Valerie Howley, thanks, Brett. Onward and upward. Yes. Onward and upward. Have a good night from Eastern Washington. Oh, wow. I like to read where everybody's from. Thanks for everything you do. Have a great rest of the weekend, everyone. Lori, I'll be looking forward to your next video. Thank you. My dad is 92, and I told him about your videos. He got super. Oh, cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. Texas Girl. Love your adventures. Thank you, Texas Girl. Guys, hasta luego. A little Spanish there. Onward and upward. What do they say? Keep your nose in the wind.